listening to the Learning Curve podcast, the show that talks about the ups and downs of webcomic creation. Today, Joe will be talking about his script writing process for webcomics, as well as tools that help with new world building. So, without further ado, relax and enjoy the show.
Good morning. Welcome everyone back to Learning Curve, a webcomics podcast. I am your host. My name is Edward. Just wanted to welcome everybody into 2022. I know it's the 16th of January right now, so I am a little behind on that, but better late than never. I hope everybody's staying safe, especially with COVID out there. Do what you can to stay safe, whatever that may be. And make sure you just check on everybody and your family, friends, that type of thing, and make sure that they're doing okay as well with that, because it's spreading like wildfire right now. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself and each other on that note. So hopefully you came into 2022 on a positive note, and hopefully it continues to be on a good note. And like I said, just make sure you're staying safe out there with that, with what's going on. What I wanted to get into, because it has been a while. So first off, what I wanted to do is just talk about some of the things that's going on with Pisces Concepts itself. I have been looking into the updating the website, which is PiscesConcepts.com, where you can go on there and check out all my updates, character designs that I have on there, stories that I've been working on, things that's been coming up. I have been trying to keep up with that at least once or twice a week with updates, or putting up any of my character designs that I have that I've been working on for my new webcomic with First Earth that I've been working on. So you can go and do that. You can also look on Pisces Concepts Art on Twitter or Instagram, where you can also see those too. And you can just go on there and check that out. Check those out, see how things are going, get the latest, like I said, updates on what's going on. You can check out my Facebook page, which is Pisces Concepts, and just looking at what's going on with that part there. So, and what's happening with that. So, getting into it, like I said, it's just been a lot that's been going on, I think, for a lot of people, especially with what's going on in the world now and things going on. Everybody's been going through it a different way and going through different things. I mean, myself personally, I really was getting more into the Pisces Concepts stuff, especially First Earth. I've been pushing the last 2 months, which is November and December, just pushing a lot of the comic designs, the character designs, which I have been posting. Like I said, I've been putting those up on a nearly regular basis, usually about once or twice a week on that as well with that. So I have been doing that, and I just was really pushing, really getting the world building thing together. Now I'm working on the script. I'm on, I believe, page 4 of the rough draft for the First Earth storyline. So I'm really working hard on that one. And the thing is, for a little while, going into the beginning of December, there was a few things going on as far as work goes, where I was working extra hours and things like that. So just working a little bit later, getting into things, and I just was really burning myself out doing that, especially with work and home and getting into this and trying to relax and then getting back into it and just making sure I had this stuff done for my time frame that I put forward. So it just wasn't adding up. So I decided to step back at the end of December, still kind of stepping back on it now, but slowly getting back into the First Earth stuff. So right before Christmas, I was like, I'm just going to take a little time off from the artwork part, and just kind of relax with other things. I'm not watching, watching a little TV, with reading, video games, taking some time out with, family and friends and stuff. Just kind of stepping back for a minute. Because I did feel like I was burning myself out just doing everything I was trying to do, even though I was productive, because I did get a lot of the designs finished. I think it's maybe a couple more that I was still working on that's coming up, so be on the lookout for that. There's a couple more that I have that I thought about that would go well with the first story, and it didn't click into my mind until I started working on some more of the world building thing for this storyline. I was like, oh, I totally forgot about a couple of characters that I really feel like would be a good fit. So I'm going to be working on those for the next week or two, and getting those posted up as soon as possible. So, like I said, just go on there and like it, and follow along on Instagram under Pisces Concept Art, or Twitter, or go on the Facebook account under Pisces Concepts, PiscesConcepts.com too, if you wanted to, just to get an idea of that, just to keep yourself updated. So they are rolling along. It's just taking me a little bit longer than what I thought, but it is really important to make sure you're taking care of yourself with that. So just wanted to make sure I was okay and just able to go in and not lose interest in what I was doing, because it's like I was telling friends of mine who are into making their own comics and everything else, they're into it, that with First Earth, this is the story, and I know I probably talked about this before, but this is the book that I'm working on for the foreseeable future, from now until whenever, until I decide, like, all right, I'm done with it, I'm just gonna go to something else. But this is the one where I'm putting everything into. Everything that's going into these webcomics is going into this. With making First Earth happen, putting the pieces in, like I said, going through all the world building stuff, making sure I put in what I feel like would fit, and giving myself time to step back from it, and then looking back into it like, does this still work? Is it something I need to change on this? And I think that's the thing with me, is because I like to work alone on stuff like this, because I like my creativity to just kind of flow from what I'm thinking on. I'm not saying I'm the best at it. I'm just saying that's what I do, though. I definitely like to create. I love to create new stories, new characters, new names for those characters, new ideas, that type of thing. And how it all can just be blended together is the fun part for me. So I really do like it. And one of the things I was looking at is just looking at how am I going to get this world building together. And I think I might have talked about this too. I didn't go back and look at my notes or anything from before. But I definitely, even if I did, like, I'll mention it again, just using this, I use a workbook for the fictional world. It's called this World Builder. I think it's by Lachelle Galbraith. It was one that I found on Amazon, and it really has been helpful with me putting this together, because I was feeling so like stuck on how do I put this together, what, how many characters is going to be in this, what is going to be the main characters in the story, how are they going to interact, how many more should I add, what about the places, that type of thing. The workbook fills almost every gap you can think of as far as creating your own worlds. And it's not even really based on just graphic novels or comic books. You can use it for a lot of different things. I mean, like if you're into, like creating your own, your own game or something like that, or board game or something like that, I think this would be really good for that too. But I just really found it online and was like, let me just give this a shot to see. And I'm really happy with the results, because it made me focus on what I needed to work on to get this together, and not get so overwhelmed with so much information that I was writing down and looking into, like, oh, I'm going to add this, I want to add this. This just kind of split it up for me, like, okay, here's this for you. work on this part. What about the major races here? What about the planet itself? You know, started off that way and it kind of just splinters off into a lot of different things. And it really made me like, okay, this is what I want to put in. This is what I don't want to put in. Because I have a tendency to overthink. So this just made it easier for me to look at like, okay, let me just start with this. Work on the planet. What's the name of the planet? What's the name of the cities is going to be involved? How much is into this? And it just kind of blossomed from there. Which got me to the point now where I feel like, all right, I'm ready to get into the script. Because to me, that's always the biggest rush for me, is when it's time to get into the script. Because I don't get nervous. I just get kind of like, okay, do I have enough stuff here? Do I have enough stuff put down here to go with the plot that I want to work with? So this does. The World Builder book was definitely a big help. It just narrowed things down for me just to put it in a good perspective, to put it into the story. And hopefully, if you do read it, I hope it's something that it makes sense, and it's something that you would like to continue to read, because this is going to be one that I'm working on for a long time. So that's what it's really about, is just getting into that. And I just wanted to know if anybody else uses anything like that, what other resources you use for creating characters, creating, like in my thing, I'm creating a whole world, which is something I've never done before. Now, I've created, with the Shield of Justice, I created a city. I actually created a couple of cities, actually. But the main one is the one I spent some time on. I could have spent way more time on developing that out if I would have stuck with the Shield of Justice more. But I created a city which in scope is very, compared to a world, is small. Which I was like, okay, I could do this and put this together and build this and build this. And I was kind of doing it on the fly, honestly. It's the best way I can put it. But I really, like I said, I like how I did the Shield of Justice. I just wish I should have put more into it. Just put more development into a lot of the, some more of the characters, some of the stories. So it's not like I don't like it. It's just I could have done more on it. And I think like with First Earth, I knew I got to put more into this, but I didn't know where to start with. So that's where that World Builder came into play, and it was really helpful. I wanted, just like I said, to find out if anybody uses stuff like this. What ways do you use to help create your characters, help to create your worlds? Not just the characters, but your own worlds. Because I find it interesting to find out like how people come up with that. Who do comic books, web comics, movies, books, whatever it may be. It's just interesting to me to find out how you came up with it, where it come from. Because with First Earth, I can say that this is founded on, as you can see, on like how the characters' beliefs and values go into what they do. I guess because, well, for one, I work as a therapist / social worker, so this thing kind of rubbed off, and it rubbed off on me, and I was like, well, if I want to make this new story, I would like to see how these characters' values and beliefs either work well together or they don't. Like, where's the issue at? How do they solve it? Do they solve it? So I thought it was a pretty good idea, and the thoughts just started to flow in and come in, and the ideas were coming. I was writing them down, and it just kind of evolved into what it is now. So some people have different beliefs and values than others, and that's how it is in real life. So I just felt like with some of the issues that's going to be going on in the story of First Earth on this planet, and with the other civilizations and other races, there's other races that's involved in this. Some are human-like, they're humanoid-like. Some are alien-like. And like I said, there's just going to be a lot of different involvement and how they deal with it. So it's more like, it is a sci-fi story. I made it more of a sci-fi story because it's on another planet. So it is a sci-fi story. But is just dealing with, what's a person's belief system and how does it, or their value system as well, and how does it work with other people, other races, in order to, I guess, to survive and build off of this planet, off of the planet that they're on. So, like I said, I enjoy it. So, it's just something to think about. So, I'm going to put more into it on the website, just like some story behind it, because I do have a plot and everything else going on with it, a little bit of the story as well. So, I wanted, when I get a free weekend, that's something I will be working on, like during the week, about putting this up on the website. And also, like I said, trying to figure out another way to upgrade the website, because I am on WordPress and I do love WordPress. I just want to be able to put more work and more things into the website instead of just what they have there, to evolve that too. So any suggestions on that would be great. You can do it on my email at PiscesConcepts.com if you want. PiscesConcepts@hotmail.com. You can leave a quote on PiscesConcepts.com, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. But just something to think about. And before I close up shop, like I said, I just wanted to thank you all for who listens and follows along. It's been kind of a longer journey than I expected it to be. But just keep hanging in there. I know it's been few and far between with these, but they are going to be coming along in January and on through the rest of the year. So just hang with me while I move on from this and keep working forward on the podcast and things like that. So just wanted to thank you all for listening in. And like I said, hopefully if you have any suggestions, any comments, please go to any of those social media sites I had mentioned earlier and leave something for me to look back on, and possibly go and talk about it on the next podcast, which will be in February. So I want to say thank you all, and stay safe and be blessed.
Ha ha.